Alright, in this video we're going to show you how to replace a tie rod end on a Chevrolet HHR, Chevy Cobalt, Pontiac G5, etc, etc. As you can see, this is completely blown out, so we need to replace this ASAP. So before we do anything, what we're going to do here is unthread this nut that's holding your tie rod end in place, and then we're going to take a silver Sharpie and mark around these threadings. Okay, with that done, we want to make sure that we can take this out. So we will take that out and get this thing out of here, and I'll show you the rest. So first thing you want to do is you want to unbox your tie rod end that you ordered, and then in this case we ordered Moog, which is definitely a good product. This one has a greasing nut or valve on it that you can put on, especially with the, and then also the pin that holds that castle nut in place. I do prefer using this. I'll link it down below. That way you can refer to that for yourself. How about that? So I'm going to put this grease nut on there, and then we'll get going on the rest. So first thing you want to do is remove your nut that's holding your tie rod end in place. In this case it's a 19 millimeter, but it could vary depending on the vehicle. Now if you have one of these, this is called a pickle fork, but in the end the pickle fork did the job. Joe, look at that. Jeez, that is just completely blown out. Unreal. But yeah, the pickle fork got this thing out. Just, oh my god, that is so loose. So now what we want to do is just remove this as so. It'll take a long time probably for this to get off the threads, and then we can install our new one. And as you can see, we still have our marker here, so now we know how far to install our previous one and tighten that up as so. Now this doesn't make the alignment perfect. You still should, it is still recommended that you get an alignment. Now with the nut off, we'll be able to put our new nut on. Now we have the new nut on, now we can put on the actual part. And before you put on the new outer tie rod, make sure you put on your grease nut and then put that on. These are already pre-packed, so you don't need to fill these up, but just double check. There should be grease seen on that backside there in that hole. So with that now installed, we can go ahead and twist this on in reverse manner that you took this off. Oop, let's move this over here so it's easier. Hold please. Alright, now we got the thread started here, so we're going to twist this around until we get to that point where we were before. Another way is to count rotations on your way off too, but think. I think that's too far. I think we're going to go back a rotation, and I think we're right there. So the castle nut did come with a washer, so we're just going to go ahead and proceed using that. So as you can see, we're tightened down now. See where that hole is? That's where we're putting our pin, right through there. If it's not lined up, make sure you just take your socket, line it up, whether back or forth, whichever way you want to do it. Alright, and now everything is installed. You just gotta tighten this nut here by holding onto this with a crescent wrench, and then tighten this with another crescent wrench. Based on size, you could just use an adjustable wrench for this, crescent wrench for this, or vice versa.
And that, my friends, is how you change a tie rod end. If this helped you, you know what to do. See you guys on the next one.